Cat Station, welcome back to a brand new video today. So today, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 released in theater. So today, we're going to talk spoilers, finally, openly discuss what I did and didn't like about the film. No vague details involved. So again, this is your final warning. Spoiler video. Talk about the ending, what does, it doesn't happen, my predictions I got wrong, got right. So as always, if you enjoyed these videos and more, for every one of these, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So, what did I get wrong? Well, I said in my prediction video that Drax, Gamora, Nebula, Rocket would all die and probably one more person. And that was all wrong. It turns out all the Guardians live at the end of the film. Every single one of them, no one dies. I repeat, nobody dies in this film. No, but well, except for High Evolutionary, but yeah. Adam Warlock was basically useless. Sorry. He was basically useless. The only reason why I liked it was because he saved Peter Quill at the end. So basically, I can't show the scene, obviously. In the end, Peter is trying to escape the High Evolutionary ship. As he's trying to escape, he jumps out to space, tries to make it to the Guardians just in time. He unfortunately slows down in space, and he starts to freeze up because of the oxygen and all that. But luckily, what happens is, at the very last second, it pans to the right, showing a hand reach out to him, which is another thing, Adam Warlock. Basically, in the corridor scene, which y'all have seen in the trailer, Adam Warlock was about to try to kill Groot. He basically powers up and then just passes out. Doesn't do anything. Just literally, I kid you not, powers up like, and then just, yeah, basically. Groot helps him, brings him onto the ship. He asks why, and Drax tells him because Groot says, "I'm Groot." He says, because everyone deserves a second chance. So that basically sets up that Adam Warlock uses his powers to go to space, grab Peter Quill, and bring him to the Guardians. And thankfully, he does make it, of course. Okay. The only thing I didn't like about the film was, again, the Golden People, which kind of, they're explained better. That basically the High Evolutionary created all of them. And basically is pissed off because he sent in the beginning of the film, Adam Warlock comes for Rocket Raccoon. And basically he doesn't make it. He comes in, grabs him, Rocket escapes, the Guardians one by one come at him. And then as Adam Warlock is on the top of Drax, beating the smudge out of him, Nebula stabs him. And basically, he slowly but surely escapes out of there. High Evolution is not happy, yada yada yada. Okay. Gamora does not regroup. Basically, she doesn't join the Guardians back. She's with them throughout the journey because basically she is with the Ravengers. She joins the Salone Ravengers team. She basically helps Peter and them when they go to a specific place. I remember what it's called, to get the file for Rocket Raccoon. In the very beginning of the film, like I mentioned earlier, when Adam Warlock basically he does something badly to Rocket. He hurts him somehow. Don't remember exactly, but anyways, they basically need a code to basically save Rocket Raccoon. Peter tries to use some type of med thing to zap him. David stops him, tells him, "No, don't do that. That's gonna hurt him." And they basically go to a place to get the coding to basically save his life. Okay. After that, they have to go to a place called Kind of Earth, and basically they bring Gamora with them. She doesn't want to, but she just has to deal with it. And through that time, she looks at pictures of Peter and slowly becomes the old Gamora in the way, but not specifically her old self that we knew her back in Volume 2. Okay? She's still this very much grunt, straight to the action, straight to the point. She's down to kill people if it means getting the job done. Does not care. In fact, a lot of times in this film, Nebula is the one who has to step in and save Peter from Gamora because he's trying to talk her down, like, "Hey, we used to be lovers, we used to be this and this and that." She's like, "I'm not that person anymore. Leave it be. Give it a rest." She gets pissed off, gets in his face, is about to attack him. Nebula stops him. Okay. Each scene when the Guardians are with Nebula and they don't really know what to do, she takes charge of it, which I loved so much. And again, I'm not trying to do a full story breakdown. This is not that type of video, FYI. But yeah, so Adam Warlock basically comes in at this film. He tries to get Rocket, doesn't succeed. On Counter Earth, Adam Warlock's mom dies. The High Evolutionary is on a big, big ship, which is planted in the Earth itself, and he basically uh escapes whatever, leaves Earth, and as he's leaving Earth, he explodes the entire planet, killing Adam Warlock's mother. Adam Warlock is basically a person with a lot of power, but it's a baby. They basically created and grew Adam Warlock to be a teenager slash adult who basically has the IQ of probably, I don't know, 150 or something. He's a child basically. So for example, when his mother tells him to show a Ravager, showing me business, kills the guy. And basically everyone laughs about it because he's a complete dummy, Don't flash him out the best. Cameo wise, we have James Gunn's wife, Nathan Fillion, Sylvester Stallone, the girl who played Ratcatcher 2, Michael Rosenbaum, who I didn't see in the film. I don't know who his character was. And of course, Michael Rooker. He appears in a 10-second cameo to basically give basically at the end of the film, I have the High Evolutionaries henchmen, or whatever we call it. Henchmen basically have evaded nowhere. The Guardians of the Galaxy HQ base. Or they come in, they attack the people of nowhere. He basically Kraglin, whatever, I don't know how to say it. Sean Gunn's character uses the arrow that Michael Rooker's character used and Yondu used in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 to basically knock them all out. Okay. And also we got some great scenes with Cosmo the dog. She uses her gravitational powers, telepathy powers to knock them out as well. Rocket Raccoon Seed with Lila. This was what made me cry. That and Peter trying to tell Gamora I missed you, which was in the clip, that got me tearing up a little bit. This is a scene before Rocket Raccoon comes back to life. He's on life support at the moment. And basically, he's in heaven with Lila and his two friends. And basically, he wants to come in and give them a hug. He takes 5 steps forward, and she basically stops and says, "It's not your time yet. We miss you." And they do kiss. It's very, very sweet, very loving, and all that. But it got me. That was the scene that got me to cry. And also, the other scene that made me cry almost was basically in the flashback sequences with Rocket Raccoon. To speed that story up for y'all, basically, there's four animals. I don't know all 4 of them are. I really don't. I'm not gonna try to name them. Basically, they all 4 believe they're going to the new civilization that the High Evolutionary is talking about. So flash forward to where High Evolutionary talks to Rocket Raccoon about a problem he's having, to where when he basically evolves the animals he's trying to bring in the experiment on, he grows them, he makes them super big, like a turtle, for example. But the thing is, when they become big size, they're violent. And basically, Rocket Raccoon says, I'm not going to even try to tell you what the exact word. Basically, you need to fix one thing with the tube that they're in to not make them violent. And basically, he makes High Evolutionary, everyone else be like, how would you know that? Like, basically making Evolutionary lead him to believe he's smarter than that actually is. Long story short, comes in and basically gets mad at him for it. Basically tells Rocket Raccoon that in the morning they're all gonna die. Because it's a sad moment, by the way. And basically in one scene in particular, I don't remember exactly how. Well, oh yeah. Basically, after that scene happens, when they're told they're all gonna die, Rocket Raccoon has been getting spare parts to make a key to free them all. He gets out of his cage, and as soon as he does, he gets Lila out. Him and Lila hug. The High Evolutionary kills Lila. In the process, Rocket Raccoon shoots the 2 people that are with High Evolutionary, who then shoot all of his friends. So in the process, Rocket Raccoon grabs a gun for High Evolutionary, and basically, I think this is after he's already scratched his face up. out of rage for Lila because basically High Evolutionary doesn't care. He is the villain of the story that basically doesn't care, has no sympathy. If someone dies, get over it, move on. Basically, he scratches his face up, which is why he wears the mask in the film. And then he basically, after he does that, shoots at 2 people, he leaves. That's really all I could think of. If I could think of anything else, spoiler wise, I'll talk about it. Of course. Oh, the new team for the Guardians of the Galaxy is Rocket Raccoon, Adam Warlock, some little girl, don't know her name, never mentioned. Kraglin, Cosmo the dog, and Groot. Nebula is now the leader of the people of Nowhere. Mantis retires from the Guardians, so does Peter Quill. No one dies. Everyone gets a happy ever after. Peter Quill goes back to Earth to visit his uncle or grandfather, whatever. And basically, in the 2 post-credit scenes, it shows a new team. Second post-credit scene shows Peter sitting with his uncle, eating cereal or whatever. And then it shows on screen the legendary Star-Lord will return. So that's that. There were a lot of scenes where you question or not who was going to live and who was going to die. There was multiple times where Drax gets shot, Mantis gets shot, Nebula gets messed up, and again, Peter almost died in space. Okay, but thankfully Adam Warlock saved him, which is exactly the only reason why I like Adam Warlock, because he saved Peter Quill. The only reason I like him. Literally, if he didn't save Peter Quill and Peter Quill died, I wouldn't care for him at all. Okay, as far as do I think we're gonna ever see this OG team again? No, I don't. David T is already publicly stated he is never going to play Drax again. He's done playing the character, which I respect. I'm not gonna sit here and throw a fit about it. He gave us 4 to 5 good films as Drax. Fantastic job. Love it. Zoe Saldana says she's also done as Gamora. Cool. And Chris Pratt basically said he would only come back if it was something worth coming back for, not just for Monday. So there's that, which all around I completely agree with. So again, I love this film. I could not stop thinking about it the day while I was at work. That's why I want to talk about this ASAP with all of you. This film was great. Oh, by the way, the scene that I kept talking about that I love so much, that I'm pretty sure all talking about, all our viewers specifically mentioning is this. So, the very end, Rocket Raccoon is back on the High Evolutionary ship, and he sees the animals in cages that he was once in the cage of itself. In this specific scene, he sees the same species as him, but baby versions. In this specific scene, he finally learns he is indeed a raccoon. Because this whole time, he kept being called raccoon. He wasn't like, I'm not a raccoon, I'm not a raccoon. He didn't know he was a raccoon, I'm assuming. And it's a sweet moment. So, we get to the part where he opens up the cage full of the raccoons. He does hit other animals, but he opens the cage of raccoons. And basically, then gets to another room. High Evolutionary basically attacks him. And then here's what happens. Because I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared, right? He basically throws Rocket Raccoon around with a gravitational pull or push. Rocket Raccoon activates a device on him, like lands on his feet and says, my name is Rocket Raccoon to him. And literally, as that happens, the other Guardians come in, clutch moment, and beat the smack out of this man. I mean, I was out of my chair. I wish to God on my life I could show you it as good as it sounds. I promise you it's worth seeing in theaters on my life. Okay? I don't usually, exaggerate, but I'm telling you, please go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And you know everything I just told you, please go see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Please go support this film. Show Marvel this is what we want. Please. Okay? As always, if you guys enjoyed this review more, please consider dropping me a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, FYI, I'll be doing a live discussion of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Live discussion on the YouTube channel, talking all there is about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, talking discussions, answering questions, how I felt about certain things, what did I like, and what I dislike more. The reason I didn't do this video because I want to do that in the live format version, and because y'all only hear specific details, I'm sure. Yeah, that's all I can think of spoiler wise at the top of my head. The High Evolutionary dies thanks to the Guardians. It's a great scene either way, and Warlock'S mom dies. Cool. It was a great film. It really, really was. It had heart, emotion, and humor. It had stakes. Every second, I had no clue who was going to die, who was going to live. Overall, I'm glad I watched this film. So, thank you as always for watching. Peace out, Cash. Stay friendly. Have a good one, everybody.